So this is the first mirrorless full-frame zoom from Canon. So it seems like Canon has squeezed the lens, and now we have a really compact zoom. This is a 70 to 200 RF mount. Now in this focal range, 70 millimeters, we have only 15 centimeters long, and when we reach the longest range, we are at 21 centimeters. So this lens uses a new ultrasonic motor focusing system called Nano USM, and it allows us also to focus at a minimum focus distance of 70 centimeters. That's crazy for a lens like this. The previous brother, the 70 to 200 in EF mount, focused at 120, that's this, and now we are up to 70 centimeters of minimum focus distance. That's amazing. Those of you who have tried this lens before in EF mount know that it focuses really fast and really silent. This is absolutely the same. It gets even better because the size of it, and also because the new silent focusing motor is really fast. So with this lens we also have now an improved stabilization. Canon says it has a 5 stops stabilization on the lens, and combined with the body like this, the R5 body, you will get up to 7.5 stops stabilization. That's crazy because, I mean, if you are shooting like at 3200 ISO, those stops will make you shoot at maybe 100 ISO instead. So 7.5 stop stabilization allowed me to shoot this lens at 200 millimeters, handheld at 1 second of shutter speed. So, and that was no luck. I mean, I shot 5 shots, straight shots, and all the 5 were in focus without trepidation. So 1 second shutter speed. Stunning. So as you can see here, we have the 3 modes stabilization. We have the on-off for the stabilization. We have the autofocus and the manual focus. And we have also the range distance switch. So we can focus from 2.5 meters to infinity and then the full range. We also have a lock here that we can use to lock the focal distance. And we also have a special ring here that we can add some value because we can program it for whatever we may want, as all the rest of the RF mount lenses. So what does this mean? In the first stabilizer mode, Canon says that it's like a general purpose mode that we can use for all kind of shooting, and it will also aid us when aiming here through the screen. And it's working really good. The second stabilizer mode in the middle, it's made for panning. So that means that the stabilization will only work in one of the axes. And then the third mode here of the stabilization, that's supposed to work only when we trigger the shutter. So unless we trigger the shutter, it won't start working. And that's perfect also for some kind of situations. This is one of the Holy Trinity lenses. As you may know, usually it's the 16 to 35, the 24 to 70, and then the 70 to 200 millimeter lenses. And yeah, all the brands sells us that we have to buy all these 3 lenses to have the best gear possible and available. I'm not quite into zoom lenses. I usually prefer the primes because they give more quality, you know. And for sure I will lose some shots because I have to switch lenses and I lose time. But in this case, this would be a lens that could be perfectly in my backpack. I mean, I have tried it these days, and it gives the perfect range, also the sharpness. I don't lose the speed that I usually lose with the zoom lenses. So I really liked this lens a lot. In this new RF mount, we won't have the 16 to 35 millimeters. We will have the 15 to 35 millimeters. We will also have the 24 to 70 and this new 70 to 200. All of them stabilized and all of them with a maximum aperture of 2.8. So the main target will be wedding photographers, portrait photographers, fashion photographers, and also like sports indoors where you don't need so much focal range. 200 will be more than enough. And with this 2.8 aperture, you will have enough light to shoot almost all fast-moving subjects. With the new and improved focusing systems from these Canon R5 and R6 cameras, allowing the eye detection in portraits and in wildlife, even for animals, you will get a really fast focusing speed. And acquiring the eye autofocus will be immediately, almost with this body and lens. The image quality is outstanding. I won't get into too much technical content, but I had to process the images with the DPP, the Canon software, because Camera Raw is not compatible yet with the files this R5 is delivering. So I open them first in DPP, I convert them to JPEG, or I convert it to TIFF, and then from TIFF I open them with Photoshop. And what I've seen, it's amazing. Really sharp, really crisp details. I could open and I could zoom in and zoom because of the 45 megapixels the R5 has. And overall, I'm really happy with the performance of this lens. I couldn't see any aberrations. It tolerates the flares really good as well. So overall, quite happy with the results. Is this lens perfect? Almost. For me, I only saw one small drawback. Maybe it's only a drawback for me because others would like it. I mean, retracting the lens with the time, I think it can get soft. And also, if you are shooting in low light conditions, I mean with rain or snow, this part can get wet, and the drops will get inside the lens. Yes, this lens is protected. It's an L lens, and it's built to be robust. But I think with the time, this kind of things can make the lens suffer. So I don't know. For me, that's a drawback. I would prefer the lens to be like in this fixed position, even though it's larger. But some may prefer the small size. This is quite handy to drop in the bag, to have a smaller bag, or to drop more kind of gear into the same space. So hope you liked it. If you liked the video, please give a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you have any questions, just let me know. I will try to answer to you all.